Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. First things first, we're facing a 2100, so let's just get that first move out of the way so the game does not abort. We are playing the Sicilian. I'm going to start bringing this into the start of my video so we can see just where I'm at. I am 5 subscribers away from reaching a milestone of 1,500. So if you're watching this video in the future and I have 10,000 subscribers, just kidding, that will never happen, please subscribe. So I forget exactly what this opening is called, but we are playing the Sicilian. This is one of the variations where we're going to go ahead and put our pawns in the middle and recapture with our knight. He brings his knight. Let me clear my throat a little bit because I'm going to be doing a little bit of yapping about chess. So at some point this knight is going to come. He has obviously showed us he's going to fan cutter the bishop, so we're going to just prematurely go ahead and defend this. So now that if this ever happens, we do have 2 defenders on this. I think we're going to bring the bishop out. I feel like that is the most promising move. He castles. And there's the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Not yet. Technically, I'm going to move my queen. I forget which square is actually preferred. I, for some reason, feel like this one is. I'm doing this one, though, because we're never walking into this dark square bishop pin. So I think that this is going to make sense. But really what we're going to be doing here is castling opposite. Oh my goodness. Where we're going to just try and kill each other, okay? I believe that this move is what needs to be played right now. The only reason I don't like that, I've had this exact position and I need to be able to memorize. Like, I need to memorize my openings a little bit better than what I have right now. I want to play this to stop the knight coming in. So if I push forward, he doesn't come forward and attack my dark square bishop. I guess if he does, I can not immediately because the knight will be boomerang defending this. But I think we just go for it. Where we capture, he captures, and we launch this pawn. No more calculation needed. If this happens, I think we just allow it. I think we just allow it. And if capture captures, we still have extra defenders on this guy. We can pretty much trade this off at will. And this somewhat takes away the idea of a quick e5. Because now we have at least a little touch on that square. So still, let's make sure that I actually pressed record. This is recording. I'm recording a video for the future. I'm trying to just foster my attacking chess abilities because the way that I win all of my games of chess is I same side castle, trade completely equally, completely boring, go up a pawn, and somehow win like a king and pawn endgame. That is literally the way that I win every game of chess. Okay, so it looks like he really just wants to arrive. He really is just trying to crack things on open over here. I like the idea of this. What a... What about take, take, push, take, take, queen's trade? It's hard to say. I want to play this, but I think that I just lose a pawn at the end because we have this and then there's this in-between captures. So what if I take here, then push? Here, if he brings the pawn, we're cool. But here, we push. He could take with the knight attacking my queen. I'd have to take, and the bishop would take. He's attacking this, but I could just take and then take. I'm down like a minute and a half on the clock. This is not what you want to see. It's one of these pawn pushes, right? Like there's even the slow approach and then push. What am I thinking about for so long? Just play a goddamn move, bro. This isn't right. Take, take, push. Take, take, steps back. I don't know if I have anything. Take, take, push, take here. He steps back, attacking this. We go for a trade and bring my queen over here. And just let him get that pawn with his knight. What if we play this? don't think that move made any sense. Because there's still this. I spent way too long thinking about all of that. Okay, so now if he ever moves the knight, this bishop is under attack. This rook is also looking at my king. It's a tiny bit disconcerting. We could take. Let's just do this. If he takes with the bishop, we step back. Held. I like my bishop on this diagonal, if we're going to be completely honest. I don't like this dude looking here. Probably that's the move that's going to happen, though. Maybe we step back here. But then, actually, if I step back here, then potentially my bishop gets locked in jail. So I might step back here, add a defender to this. Maybe an attacker with a pawn push at some point. Okay, so he does want to capture. We've got too many things looking at this. We've also got discovery ideas here. I think we do just step back. The problem is now that if this knight moves, I can't step forward to defend this guy. I'd probably have to jump forward. Or take. I need to play this. I need my attack to arrive, and it's not arriving yet. My pawns are close, but they are not there. I need all of my pawns on these squares and just start pushing things forward. Let's check this guy's bullet. Terrible at bullet, terrible at blitz, only good at rapid. Let's get this into a low time situation. I don't think that's really going to be able to happen because I'm down 2 minutes on the clock, so I do need to play a little bit quicker than I am playing. This is going to be my next move. Or he could just lock it down. And if I trade, it's like my isolated pawn here. And no matter what, once he captures this knight, I can't even take back with the queen. I'll have to take like this. And then my king is just susceptible to all sorts of attacks. So potentially I push forward. Maybe we play this. Get this little action going on. I'd kind of like his pawn here. I'm quite scared. I'm not sure. Is my voice the appropriate sound level? By the way, I haven't gained any subscribers, so quick little update on that. Let's get that thing out of the way. I think that it's still completely equal. I'm really just hoping and praying. That seems good. Like, boom, boom. Even if he takes with the knight, I just take. Completely destroys the pawns. I'm ready to rebring another rook. Do I really need 2 rooks to initiate this attack? We're almost equal on the clock as well now. And we're just kind of in a complicated game. This... I mean, he doesn't need to take, is what really sucks. What is the correct move for him to play? He could just step forward and apply pressure to this. And then, like, bring the knight. And once he brings the knight, he does have a lot of attackers on this guy. This knight seems like a liability. Maybe I bring him back and just fully invest on the attack. Okay. We can push forward. We can also push forward here. I think we take. If he takes with the knight, we also take. He'll for sure take with the bishop. Let's do it. It's only +2, so actually once we get into a little bit of low time, it's going to get a little bit ridiculous. This knight seems like a liability for me. This bishop is absolutely terrifying. So now we've just got a lot of things looking at this, so I think we have to take. This is held. I kind of like this. He might play this, where I capture. The rook coming over is actually quite scary. And what does this even accomplish? What if he just takes? He just kicks me out of there? Let's go for it. We gotta go for something. We're scared of this, but I could just push forward. Here. I take. He comes in here attacking the... No. He would come with the rook. And I step over with the queen, allow the check, I step up. He's going to double down on this guy, almost certainly. He could trade. And our opponent has just slipped below on the clock. 4 minutes against 4 minutes and 36 seconds. A 2100 sitting across the board from us. What is going to happen in this endgame? He's also... I feel like his attack is just kind of arriving faster than mine. If we're going to be completely honest. Like, he can just take. It ruins his pawn structure. He doesn't have to, though. So, almost definitely he's considering, like, some other options. Like, even something like this might make sense. Like, just put a pawn in the center. What am I going to really do? Capture like this, en passant? And then he just, like, stations a completely indestructible defense. So he goes for this. What on earth is that? I mean, pretty plain and simple, he's going for this pawn. We take like this. He takes like this. We launch a pawn. He takes. We launch a pawn. Take. If he takes like this, it opens up ideas here that aren't actually terrific for me. I feel like that was the whole entire idea of my position. So we will be playing that move. I can maybe step forward. Now is no time to be making stupid moves. He is slipping low on the clock. Dude is 100 points rated higher than me. What on earth? I capture with the bishop, no. You capture here, I take. I mean, if I take like this, sacrifice here, I take like this, no? Also, I can take with check over here. So for one, I can just play that move. Gave me a little bit of hope. And I take like this. This doesn't work. I just step up. But now I'm getting officially attacked. He did just sacrifice a piece. Okay. He is really, really trying to grind down on some stuff here. I'm thinking about stepping over. We step over. We step up. If I play this... Okay. You're going to give up in this position, bro? I mean, you're lost. That sacrifice, I don't think, worked. Don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that. I almost feel bad for him. What on earth did this dude calculate? Why would you play that? I feel like in this position, like, this move is brave. It's not dumb, but it's brave. Was the whole idea. So you're telling me he thought about this for 6 minutes? The whole idea of this was this? Dude is a maniac. And then, yeah, like, I don't have to take with my queen and allow this. And even if I do, it's not completely losing. And I can always play this in the middle of everything. So I do actually get to, like, shred open your king as well. My pawn gets to gobble. Or even... Oh, hello, and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. In today's episode, we're going to be on equal footing against a 2,000 rated opponent. We're going to take a quick gander at their profile. And we see that he has a 2,000 true and true. Through and through, true and true, however you say it. He's 2,000 in literally every classification. Even classical, he's 2,100. So we're going to have a whole heckin' lot of fun. I hope he plays the fantasy, actually. I would like to just have a gnarly, vicious attacking game of chess, but I have elected to play the Carl Khan, which basically shuts the door on any attacking maneuvers. Will he play the Alien Gambit? There is also a line here where you just develop and you just get like a nice fat lead in development. He can play the Alien Gambit or the Tardicower. Capture, capture is the Tardicower, right? Where I bring my bishop out here to d6. So he's thinking about it. We'll pre-move this. He wants to play the alien gambit. We're going to coax him into it. The best move in this position is not to play h6. You are supposed to go ahead and play c5. c5 immediately is the best move. The drawback of playing c5 shows your opponent, like, okay, in this position, if I play c5, he might say, we're not playing the alien gambit. This dude has studied openings. I don't want to play the alien gambit against somebody that has studied the alien gambit, and they will not play it. They will play some other move, not sacrificing the knight. Now, in this position, they almost always are guaranteed. Now, you came in here. Why else would you have played knight g5? You're ready to play the gambit. So he has successfully played the gambit. Playing this move is not the best, but if you want them to play the gambit, it is the best. Now, something that you just need to know about getting attacked with the alien gambit is this check is going to come. c5 now is what you need to play. Not because you want this tension in the middle. That's not really what's important here. Yes, it can be important later, but what is very, very, very important, you push this pawn forward. It is defended by the bishop. This check comes in. You step back. You can step a couple places, but I choose to step back. And then there's some lines where the knight gets into this guy, and you're supposed to just leave him. We developed the knight. Sorry, I stopped. I have a problem with starting a sentence and then they play a move and I just shut up and change topics completely. The reason that knight was like 75% of your attack. So we will be taking back here. Sorry, I'm thinking quite deeply about this. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to play here. Actually, that might have been dumb because whatever. We are just going to play it. But now we're going to put this knight in the middle of the board. Boom. He can step back and do some stuff, but then my knight gets to live here in the middle of the board, which is just a great piece. You can never kick it with a pawn, and the only piece that can ever combat it is this bishop. And so I'm going to have a hard time developing this bishop, but at some point I can go ahead and play a little h5 and bring the bishop back. Okay. So some stuff is going down. He's looking at this. He's looking at this. We also just have this push forward. Oh, dear Lord. He could throw in the check. I can also bring my queen out here. That's probably a very powerful move as well. Really, we're hanging on a razor's edge where if I make a blunder, I lose the game. And I don't want to lose the game. If I move, this check actually comes in defended. So I'm kind of thinking doing something with these guys. Like this move really might just make a lot of sense. And this bishop isn't ever actually getting in the game, so I think I do have time to just play this. But this move immediately attacks the queen. So boom, check, take. I'm still attacking the queen. I mean, if you sacrifice, I just take with the rook. If he steps back this way, we definitely don't love that. Because then he's got ideas of like stuff like this. So this might trade off the bishop. The more pieces that we trade, the better I feel about everything in life. I can also jump back and force this trade. It's hard to say which move is the best. So I'm kind of thinking that all of them are okay. So we're going to play this. We're adding a defender to this pawn. He could just step over. Jesus. This might have been the move. If this... I think we play this. We attack the queen. He can still throw in this check. We're chilling. Got to do something with the queen. And then I can throw this forward. Here, here, here. You're doing something with the queen, no? What will that be? Maybe go here? I think we will play it. Just a sneaky attack on the queen. Where this bishop is quite a large nuisance in the position. I guess if he doesn't trade, then like what else is he going to do? I need to figure out how to break this pin. So pushing this pawn forward is like a double thing. I can now put this bishop. I can just take that, no? I did not even consider what if he captures. The queen is hanging. I take the queen. You take my queen. I take. You add pressure here. I don't love it. I kind of like this, but then the rook is coming. But then we just step back. Jesus. This is like almost just guaranteed to do all right. We take. Probably you bring here. I defend at that point. You grab this pawn. We don't love that. What about take here? Oh my god. Never mind. It's pinned. That's never going to happen. What is the move? This. Bring this. You could sacrifice in that line. I think just trading the queens makes a lot of sense. I take. You take. I come back. I just don't see a way to checkmate me once the queens are off the board, so we're going to fight in an endgame where I'm just not 100% convinced that I'm losing. I can grab this, and then I have 3 pawns for the knight. And then I have like breathing room for my king, so I kind of like that. We play this, he's bringing this. I defend, he's bringing this. I step up. We're doing it. This is held a few different ways. This pin still sucks, but like I said, there's no way to like actually do anything cool to it. Potentially I just step out of the pin, no? Like what if I line this up? What do I do here? I think we're going to do this just so we can hold on to these pawns. We're in no huge rush. We do have my little light square defender, so I can circle back like this. But we need to be able to move this knight. And if I can like trade this off, oof, I feel like things get a little bit comfortable for me. And I can almost hide this bishop. I can throw this in first for 1. Throw this in. We're throwing that in. If you attack with the rook, I can pin you. If you take, I take with check. So if you defend, I take, and you can only take one of my pieces, so this bishop will live. Okay, so he steps back. I mean, I'm going to lose my knight or this guy. What if I just sacrifice? What if I just sacrifice here? We can play this. And once he captures, I have this fork. We play this. You step forward. I think we're going to just sacrifice. I'm going to lose something. But I think I'm untangling. We then line this up. So we go boom, boom. Here, if I step back, you could grab this pawn. But then I hit you with this check. So I think this works. You step over. Give this check. You go somewhere. You probably go there. Check. You grab the bishop. The knight gets out. Boom. Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, if I play this, he's just going to attack. Definitely need to be getting this. What am I doing? Isn't this knight my whole problem? I've got 2 minutes on the clock. This probably is going to stay here. Like, if I can just get that locked in. Bro, really? I mean, if I go here, I'm walking into some checks. But this is quite safe. This disconnects my rooks. I'm playing this. 2 seconds, I need to be playing a little bit faster. I've got a bug crawling across my screen. I mean, I can push forward. Boom, boom. So he's going for this. We can defend. Oh my god, if I play this, he hits me with this check. I can defend. But then he can just take and I can't take back. We can defend like this. Might need to play something like this. Oh, yikes. I'm so scared. This is held. We're attacking this rook. Rook's got to do something. If he goes here, I play this. Fudge. I don't have to take. If I take, I step up, you get this guy. So I think we just step up. He can play this. No, he can't. It's held. He can play this. I can run. If I step up... 43 seconds. Man, playing the alien gambit is just absolutely ridiculous. I can also play this. This guy is just a monster. 37 seconds. Please don't let me blunder this away. Held. Check is held. Dudes are held. How is his king so safe over there, bro? That's what I don't like. Like, bro. We go for this. Here. He could take. Here, check. Here, check. Step up, check. I step up. I think it simplifies. Nine seconds. I need to play this like all incredibly quickly. If you play something like this, I can just take. And all of a sudden, somehow this was attacking my king, and my king has run to the other side of the board. Yikes. Check. Here. Check. Here. Check. Here. He can get behind my pawn. And then we're just in a kind of a crazy endgame. I'm literally going to push this pawn, bro. I also have this. Like I play this and I have this check first. Boom, boom. I can play this, he attacks my rook. If I hit this check, he steps up, I take, he takes, I take, check, here. I can run. I might play this, dude. I have more pieces. I need to be like more active. Pushing this, I don't know what else to play. I can throw in a check. Here. He's got this check, but I can block. We're trying to push this dude away. Okay, it didn't work. I should have given this check. Jesus, bro. Defended the pawn, threatening this. He might have to bail out and play this. Give another check. Jesus. If you run, I hit with this check. If he takes, check. Here. You have to take now. I can pin. No, I hang the knight. I hate chess, bro. I trade. I'm attacking this. You've got to check. 4 seconds, okay. I hang my knight. I hung my knight. We get a fork. Oh my god. He can step in though. No, he can't. I'm defending the promotion square. We take this. I mean, I don't know what else to do. We're just going to attack this guy. I'm going to sacrifice just something. I could have just taken there. That would have made a lot of sense as well. But I'm going to take that with something. We take 8 seconds. We take this. He can push. Just dark square. He can't get in. I'm covering this whole file, so I'm sneaking in to touch this guy. 6 seconds. Jesus Christ. Bro. Bro, this is unbelievable. Like, unbelievable, bro. Dude, my heart is beating so fast. That was so sloppy in that end game. Oh my god, I don't even know if I deserved to win that. This is not a draw, but dude, I just let him like literally put his like if you can pick like what are the best squares in the position to put your pieces? King here, bishop here. And where do I want my pieces? I don't know. My king to be here. How did I like I have more pieces and power and everything. How did I let that happen? And worst case scenario, I could just trade my bishop. Like I could trade my rook for his bishop at some point. There was definitely like a configuration where I could have just like tried to figure out something. Wow, I am not that good at chess. That was probably like a 60% accurate game. Oh my god. Let's check it with the computer. All that happened, dude, I hung a piece at some point. I don't even know where that was. Holy mackerel, that was the sloppiest game of chess ever. And now I just realized that if the audio didn't work this time, I recorded another video where probably the audio didn't work. Let's look at this together. Let the graph be revealed. I'm afraid. I did throw it away at one point. I know it. Right here, there's going to be like a spike where I threw it back to a draw or he was winning. On Alien Gambit variation. As you can see, the computer is saying, go ahead and play c5. But if you want to avoid the Alien Gambit, play c5. Because then at this point, he might play something different, okay? He's not guaranteed to sacrifice the knight. And you might have a more normal game of chess. If you want him to play the Gambit, don't push this, attack the knight. Because then, his whole idea was to play the Alien Gambit. The only reason you wouldn't play the Alien Gambit is if your opponent is like, bro, I've studied the Alien Gambit. Okay? So, counterintuitive, play like the second or third best move. Don't play the best move because you want him to play what is generally considered not a great move. But, oh boy, was it exciting. Then, after he has committed to playing the Alien Gambit, the knight is gone. The king has stepped forward. It's already happened. Now you go for the pawn push. He gives the check. You block it with the pawn. You step back. You can either capture, but developing the knight is actually the best move. He captures, you capture. Capture, man, every single move I played was like the best move. Then throwing the knight to the middle, one of the best moves. Developing queen, one of the best moves. Ugh. Pushing this pawn forward. Ooh, just forcing a queen trade. What did I play? I went for the pawn push. Actually throwing away a lot of my advantage. We trade the queens. He takes. Then I take. Stepping up with the king was the best move. Best move. We trade here first. Now, I could have just decided not to be incredibly fancy. I sacrificed, which threw away 2 points of material. So it's -5. Sacrificing the bishop was just trying to be too fancy here. It's split his pawns, but I guess I'm still being the one attacked here. So that was for sure a blunder. But we have ideas of discovery. But now that the king is perfectly safe in this corner, I'm the one that's getting attacked still. So even after you split his pawns and are up a knight, his bishop is just attacking more than mine, and his rooks are ready to attack more than mine. This rook has literally not even moved yet. Okay, we step back. He steps in. Brave moves, defending. I step up. Okay, just because it looks scary, you don't have to capture and allow this where you step up and he wins this rook for free. So it looks terrible, but you can just step up. Now the rooks do see each other, so it's just an equal trade. So this move looked very scary, but actually you have a resource. You step up. Another check, I step up again. You give me too many checks, my friend, and I'm going to be safe. Now, I push this forward because I liked the idea of, like, this bishop defending these guys, my knight here, and everything is just incredibly well held. He hits me with the check, I step back. Only -1. We jump forward. We hide in the corner to defend this pawn. If I didn't, I could have stepped either way, really, to keep that defense going. Okay. Suggesting to sacrifice here. Okay. I'm not even sure, like, when I sacrificed my knight, did I sacrifice it, like, 100%? Okay, we give a check. He steps here. I got scared and I just repeated the move. I know that this is a safe square, so that's a blunder. I could have attacked this rook, and then realistically, like, what is the rook doing? I guess you could hide somewhere. I don't know. Whatever. We step back. We just put the knight back. He's undefended, but he is defending this pawn, and I'm threatening this fork. So he moves the rook. Now I have this fork, and I miss it. Okay? But I had 5 seconds, so please forgive me. I had 5 seconds here. I do have this fork. He takes, and I take this, and I'm also threatening this guy. Ugh. Breaks my heart to see it. He steps forward. We give a check. And now his king is actually, like, kind of sketchy. And I do just hang my knight completely. And I'm sure in the video I called it out. Oh my god, I hung my knight. We trade a rook. We jump forward. We step forward. And then I hang my knight again. But for some reason, taking is not a good idea. Take. Bro, I forgot which way my pawns were even going. Because we were running around so crazy, I forgot which way my pawns were going. Legitimately, I, for some reason, thought my pawn was going this way. Would I have seen that? Would I have seen that? I, for some reason, just thought, bro, my brain didn't work right here in 6 seconds. I have nothing else to tell you. For some reason, I thought the knight was hanging. This happens. Then we get the fork. We capture. We get over to this pawn. Now, honestly, these pawns are on dark squares, so I don't even need any of my pieces over there. So I can literally bring these 3 pieces to get this pawn. We step in here. For one, I can take this first. But I just decided to take the pawn. I can take here because it defends this, but also I have 7 seconds, so I was like, you know what? This pawn is the problem in the position. Let's get rid of it. We take a pawn. And dude, in low time, I was literally just too afraid. I'm absolutely crushing. Nothing I did can possibly make me lose this position. But, dude, I might have accidentally gotten to the whatever move. 50 move you fudged up. But if he was just going to waste a move with this guy. We step forward with the king. If the king ever moves, I go for the push. So if he goes this way, I go for this push. So if he goes over here... Okay, so back in this position, he lost on time. Let's see with the computer. Best computer move, I go for the pawn push. If you push here, I have a pass pawn. Okay, so you have to take. I take with check. So let's say he didn't do that. He probably wasn't going to do that. Where are we? Boom, 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 boom. He was going to just move the bishop. Okay. Probably could keep it. He could take, even. Give this check. If you take, I get the pawn. So, finding this move, I was never going to play this. Never going to play this. I don't want to fudge up too long, so I guess let's just do it like this. Okay, we're winning. If you made it this far in the video, I absolutely love you. Sorry that was such a sloppy performance. Let's do a quick round of guess the accuracy. If you get within 5%, please subscribe. Okay? I'm thinking that I played that actually 87. Now that I went through the game, 87, 85. I think 85. 83. Oh, 85 on the dot. I will subscribe to my own channel. I said 85. That was the last one. And I definitely threw it back to some draws here and there. But, oh my god, the Alien Gambit is, even when you know the best 10 moves. Like, I played the computer recommendation, like 10 moves in a row out of the opening. And, oh my god, in that endgame, it got serious. I hung my knight. And, oh boy, all the way back in that position when I hung my knight. Where was it? Boom. If he would have captured the knight right here, like, dude, we have a game of chess on our hands. we have a game of chess on our hands where he has he has an outside pass pawn, but his king is cut off, and my bishop is actually quite strong. Hard to say, dude. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry for rambling so long. Sorry the review is so long. I won't do it in the next video. I love you. Bye. Oh, hello, and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. In today's episode, what we will be doing is playing the Tardicower against an 1891. Boom. Will we have the exchange variation, the advanced variation, or perhaps the alien gambit variation? I'm not sure what that move is. You never see it very often, so I have no idea what this variation is called, but he's pretty much going to have to step back. We will develop... I'm quite alright with just trading that off, and then I think we're going to be able to transition into a structure that I at least somewhat am familiar with, where he captures, we trade, and then we just go for this. I will just trade this off. We've got a 9-minute game of chess, but let's just go ahead and trade all of the pieces in the first 30 seconds. Why not? Nice dark square structure. I think let's attack this guy first. I mean, where's he really going to go? He's got to step back, no? And then I can kind of hover along these light squares. I've got the bishop pair. And then we're really in no rush. I think we just bring the dude here. Oh, I had this. I had this. I still have this. That is a ridiculous move to be played right there. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But now we are up the exchange. And so for that move right there, go ahead and trap that guy in there. We're going to take a look at my subscribers. Today we're at 1495. 5 more to reach that big milestone. So if you want to be a part of the inner circle, go ahead and click subscribe. And now, how do we actually convert this? Probably what we want to do is trade off a lot of pawns. We're just going to situate this bishop on a better square. And I have not won the game. Now I'm just winning. I am just winning, have not won. Big difference. I can take here, and when he steps back, I take. Oh my god, and then this guy is hanging. So I can play this. If he plays this. Oh my god. This guy is just falling apart tactically. We take, and he takes, and that undefended the bishop. Jesus, we're attacking this and threatening to double up. 1891 goes down without a fight. How long even was that? I guess it doesn't tell me anymore. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Go ahead and click subscribe. That was absolutely just a demolition. A demolition. And this move right here, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful when you lock your bishop, your rook in situations like this, because pretty much if my bishop arrives anywhere, okay, not anywhere, but pretty much anywhere, you're in a lot of trouble. You could block with the knight, and then I could take, and you could like get out of it. So you could lose the knight for the bishop for free, which is arguably not as good as just losing the bishop and losing the rook and getting my bishop. We're not going to do an analysis. That was the entire video. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, now you know that I can absolutely just demolish 1891s. So thank you. I love you. Subscribe. Bye. Oh, hello, and welcome back. And thank you so much for clicking on my video or just watching it on YouTube Lives. What we are going to be doing in today's episode is absolutely destroying this 1941. Like always, we take a quick gander, and we see that I've actually played this opponent before. Let's make the first move before he cancels. I've actually played him before. And so once you reach the rating of around 2000, 1900, you actually start facing the same opponents more than one time. Definitely in bullet, because I guess there's, you play chess, whatever. There's no way this is the guy that played the alien gambit against me. There's no possible way. Okay, he goes for the Tardicower, a far more principled approach, where the plans for black are pretty straightforward. You put the bishop here, you castle, you bring the rook over to the open file, you pin this knight if the bishop doesn't come out. If the bishop does come out, you try and go here if his bishop goes like here. So I'll show you. Very, very plain and simple development plans for black. And I mean, I guess for white, it's pretty much a simple setup. And so because everybody always asks, like I said, this pin accomplishes nothing, so we put the bishop here to the more active square. I think actually scooting the rook over is the computer best line, but it's probably all interchangeable. The knight goes here and zigzags with the plan of destiny, the spiritual journey to the center. Now, we are a little bit afraid about the queen coming in, so we're going to step back. where if he captures, we have a beautiful pawn cube, which only really happens in this structure. How often do you see a pawn cube? It's quite rare. Now, our opponent is immediately going for the jugular. And I think we got to play something like this. This guy is pinned. He could castle. He could step up with the queen, but we're going to just take. That gets some pawns in the middle. Hard to say. He wants to make a little run. Then, generally what you want to do is if you can make moves. Like, this is pretty forcing, but what is the real future of my queen after he just defends with the rook or the queen or something such as that? If I step over here, then my queen is kind of condemned to this side of the board because it's going to be hard to, like, participate over here if he tries to disrupt my pawn cube. And so, really, this, or this. Those are the 4 moves. I think this is the best. This is probably second best. Maybe you just get brave and you bring the knight and say, screw it. Okay, so because the knight is actually going to be going this way, I say we develop the queen with tempo on this, and then we bring the knight. Instead of putting my queen here on b6, now we have a square for my knight to go. He could just push. That's well within the realm of possibilities. Okay, well, let's just stick to our guns. The whole plan was to do the spiritual journey zigzag over here. We can do this. It just seems like a powerful move. We're immediately threatening this. And we're just saying, who is attacking who in this position? Your pawns have not yet arrived, and it's really 2 pawns versus 4. So to crash through on this is going to be a little bit challenging for our opponent. If the king steps back, we have another tempo winning move. We step forward, applying pressure to this fork. We are, like, the king can never step forward or he walks into that check. If he steps here, which actually makes the most amount of sense. What do we say about this? He could push, but then we capture. You got to be careful in these positions not to get too gosh darn greedy. Because I'm feeling a little greedy right now. I want to win something. Bro, his queen. His king is in the middle of the board. It can't be good. If I step back, almost certainly he just goes for this pawn push. We trade the queens. The king steps up defending everything. What about this? I'm liking the idea of bringing my rook here and then push. I'm also kind of liking the idea of just push immediately. If he pushes here, we go for this. Like if he pushes here, we just go in. You know what? Just lining our rook up facing the queen can't be a bad move. We put the rooks in the middle of the board. This one is staring at some really important stuff if these guys decide to move at some point. So I wasn't really sure what forward attacking move. So that was my last undeveloped piece. I basically just used the rule of my least active piece. This rook was my worst piece, not doing anything. And now he's like, you know, he's got prospects. Something like this, I just am not even convinced. Like, what are you going to really do after that? I can just push forward. And, like, yes, you can push, but I can push forward. You can push forward, but I step over. And then I've just got my zigzag block of pawns over here. This walks into this. And then I'm attacking. Like, if I play this, you would have to defend like so. In that position, do I push forward? Defending the knight? Challenging this? Where if we take, and his knight can't actually immediately even get to this side of the board. This knight is condemned to be an attacking knight. This knight is attacking my king. This is not a defensive knight. Just like my queen is an attacking queen. Actually, never mind. I can slide all the way back here. That is just the power of the queen. Okay, so he does attack. I really like this move. It just seems right. It just seems right. Don't know how else to explain that. He then steps up. I push. He just pushes forward. I sacrifice here. I think this, push. Where if he pushes forward, I sacrifice the knight. If you take with the pawn, you're... That doesn't work. What am I talking about? Boom, boom, push. We sacrifice the knight. The pawn takes. I can't take. He can just take. This doesn't work. He pushes forward. What about this? Crazy move like this. This is one of these moments. We're playing this so that I'm taking my foot off the gas. I think that if there was an attack, I missed out on it. I don't see it. We can still try and shred open the position, but I'm really afraid of just pushing this pawn forward because he just pushes forward. And like realistically, what am I doing there? Sacrifice the rook? It doesn't work. I need this pawn here defending this square. And he can just go for this. He's really going for the run. He is really going for the run. Does this make any sense? Let's not even calculate it. Let's just play it. Straight up. Dude, he has not decided what he wants to do with this king. This rook still has not done anything because he is trying to aid in this pawn push. Which there might be something there. My attack has somewhat fizzled out. Okay. What does this do? I can play this. What if I push? Push here. And just try and make an open file on this side of the board. I push this. He goes in for the queen trade. We hit him with this brutal fork. So this doesn't work because of the fork. The king is now in forking distance of the knight. This is also just a good square for my knight. Pushing doesn't work. I just bulldoze through. Stepping up really might be the best thing, because then even if I get this open file, it's like, cool, so what? What are we doing with that open file? It doesn't really do a whole lot. But the knight stepping back here seems like just a beautiful square for my knight. And please forgive me. If you guys saw, if there was something there and I didn't see it, please forgive me. Now I'm down a minute and a half on the clock. We still have an entire game of chess yet left to play. I didn't even really consider take. Then I take. Then I bring a rook and I'm just trying to apply pressure to this, like with everything in my position. He'd probably go for the pawn push at that point. This pawn push doesn't seem too incredibly amazing. And now my knight is only defended by my queen. So, boom, boom. What am I talking about? I could just take. What am I talking about? Go ahead and take a moment. Think about this, my opponent. And if you're watching this on YouTube live in the future, I can't really show you guys incredibly well. Super tiny right there. I'll just read it to you. My ratings are 2010 in bullet, 1928 in blitz, 2032 in rapid. I've been playing chess consistently for 4 years. 3.5, 4 years is what we're looking at. I played a little bit when I was a kid, but then I forgot about chess. For more like 15 years, I forgot about chess. I think he's kind of just flabbergasted at, like, what are we supposed to do here as well? Like, this is quite powerful. Arguably, my knight is better situated than his. The only thing I don't like about this is this pawn push comes in quite quickly, and I don't want to push this pawn because we can't allow his knight here. Attacking this, and he might just give up a pawn. Give up the pawn. Okay, so he takes. Fairly certain we just take with the queen. No. He's got this still. This doesn't work. But I'm really ready to just play this. But, oh my goodness, I could play this. Like, if he plays this right here, this attack doesn't work. I've got 3 minutes. Let me take a deep breath. Can I sacrifice? Here, if he takes with the queen, I hit him with this. He has to take, then I take. And then I gave up. Let's not be ridiculous. I don't think that works. He just takes with the queen. I hit him with a check. The rook takes. I take with my queen. And he could just challenge something like this, where there's no, like, winning the rook at the end. I think we play this. Say he pushes. Say he pushes. Like, I can replace my front pawns, like my third rank pawns, with my second rank pawns. So, like, if he plays this, I don't need to capture. And if he captures, cool. I'm still covering these two really crucial squares. If he pushes this, I push forward. So, yeah, I don't need to capture there. Now, is trading down into an endgame what we're supposed to do? This check is an option at the end. I'm also looking at this at the end, so I think just this makes sense. We're take, 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 take. For one I can take with check. He'll step up and attack my rook. I take your rook, you take my... Let's just play this. I'm not convinced that it's great, but I've got 1 minute and 48 seconds. I want to go up a pawn. Grabbed a pawn on the side of the board. He can also just make pass pawns over here. Now, do I rush? Like, he has to trade. Well, like, what am I talking about? Let me think. He takes. I'm going to take back. I can just take first, no? I don't know if we care about this. I take. If he takes with the king, I hit him with the check. You're going somewhere. I take this rook. You step up, I just take. Right? You take with the rook. I can get this check. I can also get this check. I think that's it. Just check. I'm winning a pawn. This... You have to block. I take, you take, then I take, but it's not with check. I'm threatening the knight. Yeah. You have to block with the rook, because if you step forward, I'm just taking this. So you have to block. I take, you take, I take. I'm threatening the knight. What about this? What about this? Check. You kind of have to play this. We also have this. Oh, dear Lord. This... Am I making it too complicated? Okay, let's not... Like, I know there was probably something there. Grabbing this, attacking the knight. He gets in. This is held. We attack the knight this way. He steps in, attacking this. For one, I can just grab this guy. But let's be nice and simple. I've got this to win this. Oh my god. This dude is undefended, which makes me very, very squeamish. Let's give a check. He doesn't... He resigns. Because he was going to lose this pawn. You're either trading your rooks, which you don't want to do, or you're giving up a pawn, which you don't want to do. I am guaranteed there was something there. And my attacking motif in chess is just not as strong as it should be. So please forgive me for that. I really gave it everything I've got. We castled essentially opposite. Let's check with the computer. I know I missed something. But you know what? I ended the game with like 10 seconds on the clock. So I really did give it my best shot at trying to find whatever it was. If you saw it, please just put it in the comments. We're going to switch scenes real quickly. Stay tuned for the analysis. We're going to do this live in the future. I'm going to just read to you the position. Okay, so we have the Tardicower. Boom, boom, boom. Castle. I knew it that putting the rook here is the computer best line, but it's more or less interchangeable. We end up to the same. It's transpositional. This thing is loading just a little bit. Stepping back is not the best. It is the best move. Okay, they're equal. Whatever. I like doing it just because we get a pawn cube. Okay, everything. It's completely zeros at this position. I do play the best move stepping in with the bishop. Then trading is the best move. I read in the, I was like, what do I play? The queen e7 is the most forcing, but I guess bringing the knight is just like the most flexible because then I can decide what I'm doing with my queen after. Whatever. Let's see the difference. Minus 1.1 versus minus 0.9. Okay, so we're talking about 1/5 of a pawn difference in that move. Okay, we get the knight over. Boom, best move. We slide into the position, getting freaky with the queen over here. Then we get freaky with the knight. Threat after threat. Oh my god, so basic. Sacrifice for the freaking pawn because you win this with a fork. And you're getting out because you ate the pawn that covers the escaping square for the knight. Okay. Straight up just grab the pawn. If he grabs back, we hit him with a fork. He steps up. We hit here. He goes here, and we can launch a pawn to... We're getting out. We're getting out. The whole reason we wouldn't be able to get out is this. I didn't even consider that for a second. What did I play instead? Big blunder. I spent over a minute, okay? I really was trying to figure out... I knew there was something there. I knew there was something there. I was considering bringing the queen back to apply pressure to both at once. I considered putting the rook up here. I considered sacrificing the knight either way. I considered just launching the pawn. And ultimately, I couldn't decide what to do, so I just slid the rook over. Okay, we bring the knight in. Correct idea. Launch the pawn. Correct idea. Oh, I launched the wrong pawn. Whatever. Still complete zeros. He runs with the king. Launching the other pawn is the right idea. Launching the pawn. All right, so I did play decently accurate at this point. We sacrifice the knight because you can't take because it's defended by the queen. Duh. If you step over, then I'm going for this because you can't take back because of this pin. Or I just straight up grab this pawn on this side of the board and say, my knight's going to live here forever. I'm close to getting a pass pawn on this side of the board. Okay. Hard to see. I did not even consider playing this move. It just looked too risky. You should always look for checks, captures, attacks. I didn't consider this at all. I simply spent half a second. Never mind. I spent 5 seconds and took this. Plain and simple, we just double up on the weakness in the position. And then I take with the queen just because I know I'm winning a pawn and he doesn't take back. I suppose we could have played this. And if he steps up, I'm grabbing this rook. And if he blocks here, I hit him with another check. You got to step up. I'm hitting you with another check. Oh, I could have gotten in and destroyed. Gave the wrong check. I gave the trading the queen's check. Okay, but still winning. We give this check. And in this position also, I saw this, but I saw he was going to step forward and attack. Never mind, this is the best move. Okay, so I did play it. He covers. And again, I'm supposed to play this. But at this one, I had 53 seconds. So what's the winning continuation here? Here, here. Just defend? No, 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 no. Trading off the rooks made way more sense from a human standpoint. Never in a million years am I just trying to win a pawn positionally. So we win this. The rook, the knight gets in, but we get to attack him. He jumps back. We step up with the king defending the pawn that the knight is attacking. And this is more or less just a straightforward endgame. I guess there's a lot of things that I can do here. Pushing is probably fine. Taking is probably fine. Going for the pawn immediately is fine. I chose to take because I saw that there was no immediate check. So, like, yes, he gets in, but there's no check. And my pawn cube has been halved. Okay? And then in this, we give the check. We win the pawn. He steps over here, defended square. I guess I could have just jumped over with the knight, where if he takes. Actually, never mind that pass pawn. You still got to be careful in these endgames. We give the check, and we step back. And right here, he's basically faced with the dilemma of, do I take the rook, or do I keep the rook, but I for sure lose this pawn? It's hard to do either one. After that, you are essentially just really lost. Because once you lose this pawn, then you've got, like you're so screwed. You're so screwed if you lose one more pawn. This pawn is very important. Because these pawns have a good structure. These ones don't. So these ones will march up the board together. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you. Please subscribe. If you're watching this, there's another video that will pop up here if you want to watch it. Let's check the accuracy. How accurate do you think that game was? I guess my guess is like 91%. Let's see. 86. Okay, so I was like, 5% off, but still pretty decent. Thank you so much. If you made it this far, subscribe. You're the best. I'm going to play some more chess. Goodbye. What do we think about that, boys? What do we think about that? Boom, 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 boom. I got a lonely pawn over here. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time on all this. He could swing over. He could swing over and get fancy here. But he's got 5 minutes and I've got 5 minutes, and I'm going to whittle away his clock. I am not losing this game of chess. That is a promise, okay? It's completely even right now, but we're going to make something happen. And you know what? I've had a tremendous losing streak. I think immediately we attack that rook. We're doing it. My fear of this is, what is my queen doing all the way over here? But if I grab this pawn, these pawns become just increasingly weak. So you really don't want to... You play this and just allow it. Okay, so he does step back. This might be our time to shine, boys. We get jiggy with it. How trapped is my queen over here? What if I play this and he plays this? We have to step back, but then say he attacks my queen in that position. All right, I grab the pawn. All right, we're going to play it. This pawn push seems like it's actually an okay thing. Seems like it's actually an okay thing. Okay, so he steps back. I'm scared of my queen. This. What else you got? That's the only threat my queen, and I can get out. So what about this? And he pushes forward. I'd get this. Okay, we're doubling the rooks. Seems like the right idea. His rooks are still in the back rank. My rooks are doubled up on the semi-open file. I have ideas of push-push. So he does go for the attack the queen maneuver. Fairly certain I only have one move to play here. Is it my time to go for a little pawn break? If I'm able to shred things open. This is actually quite scary, but I'm just going to go for it with 4 minutes on the clock. He's got 48 seconds on me. I think we're going to make something shake. The game never shifted over to this side of the board. So my fear of my queen being over here was an irrational fear. Never be afraid. You dictate where the attack is going to be. And he's got nothing. He's got nothing over here. And so what we're doing is we're whittling around into a rook and We're an endgame. I push forward. If you push forward, I just take. If you take, I just take. We go for this. If you take, I take your rook. Because I got my double barrel bazooka looking at you. You do have this. You do have this. But I have capture, take, take. We take here. You can't take. I'm looking at the rooks. You can play this, but I take, take, take. And I'm getting a pawn at the end. And at the very least, this pawn becomes destabilized, and there's no back rank checkmate idea, so you can't hit me with something fancy like this if my rook leaves the defense of the back square. I think pawn pushes are the soul of chess. I think Hikaru actually said pawns are the... I think he literally did say that. Okay, so he adds a defender to this. But that's not enough defenders, bro. We take. You take. I take. If you pin, I get out of it. No more calculation. We're taking. That was the whole reason of pushing this pawn forward. We will be pushing that pawn forward. Now, we have 3 things looking at this pawn, and he only has 2. The only tactics here are this, but I get out of it with a check. You're not fast enough, buddy. Not to mention I could just take this way. We take. This doesn't work. We have a check. We have a check. What's stronger here? Take. This doesn't work. This. If you let me get behind this, I just win. This seems like very powerful. But I'm okay with going to a rook and pawn endgame, where it's still a draw most likely, but I'm on the good side of the draw. He probably wants to keep the pieces. But if he doesn't... Okay, we get in. He goes here. Awesome. We can get super active, but I kind of like the idea of literally playing this. If he ever goes away... Okay, we are going to play this. Pushing here probably makes sense. He can just stop my entire mission. Yeah. We bring the king. King, king, king. I'm getting fancy with the king, bro. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. We're not going to need it. We're not going to need it. You go here, I'm hitting you with this check. And you're going back. So we're stepping forward. You go here, I'm hitting you with this check. You go there. We push, take, take. And make a passed pawn where your king is passive as poop. I can also push, push. I have the feeling that my rook should be looking at something such as this. If I push and you take, I step over. That becomes just a huge problem. Boom. You push here, I just take. Then you take. What am I talking about? He can't push that. We push this. We push this. We turn the battle into fight over this pass pawn. So he wants to defend. Very reasonable. I think push, push, and bring the king. Got to be very careful here. This is a very crucial moment in the game. Once I have this, and then this idea. If the king ever comes onto this file. And oof, he doesn't have a lot of great options. He's got this check. Okay, so he does step forward. We play this. We cut the king off and go this way. No. We push, but then the king just steps in. But then we go for this. Oh my god. If you take here, I take here. And we're then in a different king and pawn endgame. What about just this? I'm doing this. Because then I can push and then I have this. And if a trade happens, then... Okay. I'm up a pawn. Take a deep breath, Kip. Kip314 on YouTube. We step forward. Yes. Where are you really going? This is a check. Where if you step this way, I play this. You grab the pawn, but I grab here. Here, here, What about this? Here, here, here. You take, I take. I'm not on the right side, dude. If I push the... Here, 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 take, take, check, and then my king is cut off on the outside. There's no way that's correct. Stepping back can't be correct. I don't know what to do. I think I have to play this. Ugh, this became a little bit more challenging than I had planned it for it to be. "26 seconds. What about just like this, dude? What about this? We cut the king off. King's not going nowhere fancy. My pawns are weak, but I actually don't even know if I care about any of those pawns. We care about this pawn. We care about these pawns if we're going to be doing more stuff with pawns. But what about just this idea? What do you do about this? This might be the right move. But then I push. And if you push, I sneak in behind. Okay, that's what it is. What about like this? Push. Check up. All the way back. Step up here. There's this check. I'm not convinced. I think the king. My king is going to go into a boxing match with this rook. And I'm going to knock him out. That is straight up the goal. With 26 seconds on the clock, bro, there's nothing you can calculate. There's nothing you can do. I have faced so many losses in a row. You are my victim today. Go ahead and pull out Stockfish. I beat this against Stockfish. There's not a chance. Your king's cut off. Your rook is passive. My king is thirsty. I'm being a little too confident. I might completely screw this up. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. We step in. If he plays this, we push. He steps back. I come up with the king behind it. And same idea, bro. We're getting my king to this square and then to this square. And once that happens, while your king is cut off, you are in a predicament. He could try and run in. No, he can't, bro. I have an invisible line. I have an invisible line across the board. This is my side of the board. He pushes a pawn. Okay, we step up here, here. Here, check. Here. This is the right move. Check, I step up. Here. Yes. Cuts off these three crucial squares. You want to run? I'm pushing. Grab this pawn, bro. He gives me the check. Jesus. What do I do? You can get this. Jesus, we give a check? I think we have to give this check. If he goes here, Jesus. Dude, did I just give a draw? I think I just gave a draw. That was 3 times. I suck. We push this. We get behind this guy. I'm freaking out of moves. I'm going this way, bro. You capture that pawn, I'm going this way. He timed out. He's got this. But I've got this. You have to go back. Dude, rook and pawn endgames are freaking no joke. My blood pressure suffered from playing that game of chess for you guys. Oh, dear Lord, please subscribe. We're going to do an incredibly quick analysis. Incredibly quick analysis. I think it was probably a draw for that entire last, like, 10 minutes. But, you know what I mean? Sometimes you really just got to fight for it. And our opponent lost on time. I know that I got close here and there, for sure. I mean, let's go to the very, very beginning. Screw, my scroll wheel is not that incredibly quick. Boom. Beginning of the game. Go here, scene collections, analysis, bada boom, bada bing. This has audio. We're still recording. Okay, capture, capture. We'll go one move at a time. Develop the bishop. I should have pushed the pawn 2 squares. It is what it is. Make a little luft. It was actually an okay move. Do something with the bishop. Castle, castle. Bring the knight, bring the queen, bring the rook, bring the rook. He steps back. That's a weird move. I jump in with the knight because I realized I was losing on time, so we wanted to get some quick moves here. So we shuffled around. This was all to gain time. And the same subscriber has been inviting me to, like, so many different games. But I'm too busy right now, bro. We are locked in. And I have to actually reject this. Bro, if he sends one more, I'm going to have to block you because I can't be having a million requests. Get out of here. You see this? No challenges. Every time somebody sends a request, it blocks the computer analysis, which is not what we want. We need to just keep going forward. We trade everything. Bro, get out of here. There we go. Was there anything we missed? 0.5, okay. Okay. It's even saying to give a cheeky check first so that the king has to get not on that square, whatever. It is what it is. Capture. Capture. Why is this check good? Literally just to have the king not on this square. I guess this square is important later on in the computer's brain. Okay? We push a pawn. We get freaky with the queen. Freaky with the rook. Double up the rooks. Freaky with the pawn. Okay, we are making advancements forward. Every move that I have made for the last little bit is forward. I finally have a substantial advantage. -3. We capture, and then I needed to convert this rook and pawn endgame. This was like the entire purpose of this game. Everything before this didn't even matter. Okay, so that's losing. I guess I'm supposed to clarify like what's going on here. We can step here and just inevitably apply pressure to this pawn, and only the king can defend it, and he can only uncomfortably defend it, I guess. Not to mention if he goes here, it's pinned. Okay, so I'm supposed to realize, like, this is a weakness, so I'm not going to pretend to be able to explain all of this to you guys, okay? I make a mistake. I figured, okay, makes a passed pawn. I like my idea. It's not losing. It's still winning. We're doing all right. -3. We step up with the king. He steps back. We give a check. I guess I didn't ever need to actually step back, but okay, it's the best computer line. Stepping back. He gives the check. I step up correctly to cut off these squares, so he has to go back. So he goes here, push. He grabs the pawn. I push. He gives the check. No, he covers. I block, check. I guess we shuffled around a little bit. We do give this check. He steps up. We give this check. He steps up. I definitely shuffled around here a little bit to gain time. I thought that I did too much. This is a complete blunder, although I'm still winning. Okay, capture, capture. He goes for this. Completely I'm winning here. He pushes. I think I even gave another check to gain more time off that increment. I'm a sneaky boy. We slide back. We slide over, and it's a draw because I push. And if he doesn't capture... So he pushes. It's still a draw. Bro, I'm blocking you. You are blocked, officially. Too many requests in one day, bro. And now I got to, like, sneaky click over here. Still a draw. Because you're winning this pawn. Oh, my God. And he needs to give the check because this isn't fast enough. I'm making a queen. And even if you take my rook, I got the queen before you got your queen. I'm going to figure out how to, like, swoop and cover that square. Okay? So that's not too hard to find. But he could just keep giving checks. So let's see how this goes. Okay, never mind. I am actually going into this guy's account, and I am blocking him. Block. Officially, that is just too many requests, bro. If I don't accept the first request, don't send me 300 more. Let that be a lesson to you. How is this supposed to go? I step forward. He gives the check. And then I guess I'm just getting perpetually stuck in this position where nobody can make advancements forward. It still gets pretty complicated, though. Grab this, and if I ever run, then we're just 2 pawns. So let's go back to when I was winning and watch what to do so we can see how to actually win this rook and pawn endgame. -2. Check, check. Push forward. Then let's turn this down. Only show the best move. Boom. 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 Push. Take. Take. Probably you're going to want to go for that. But I go for this. You can step up. Okay, that's more losing. Okay. We got to play the computer best line. Is he not just going to shuffle back and forth here? He's playing the same move, bro. Same move. It's a draw. He's going to play the same move. Okay, I come back and block this. He pushes. I get here. How are you defending all of this? We slide over. This is unbelievably complicated. I'm not even going to pretend to be able to understand any of this. Something like that. Holy crap, rook and pawn endgames are the most challenging part of chess. Sorry if that analysis was longer than it needed to be. I wasn't even able to explain anything to you guys about how to win this rook and pawn endgame. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. Goodbye. Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. We are sitting in front of the 64 squares, ready to absolutely demolish this 1885. He elects to play. Is this the Perk or the French? I'm going to be completely honest with you. Knowing the names of the openings don't matter. What matters is memorizing the moves. Let me turn up the audio just a tad bit so we're actually recording the sounds of this. Now, to be honest with you, I forget what's the best move, but I know for certain that this is the second best move. And we're just going to naturally develop. This check doesn't really make a whole heckin' lot of sense right now because the pawn's going to just step forward and completely block all of that. So going here, we haven't been pinned yet. So we're going to move this bishop first because we haven't decided what's his bishop doing. Potentially we want to break this pin. If we go here, we might have to live with this pin for forever. And so that's not something that I'm going to be able to stomach. While the game starts, we're going to start doing this at the beginning of my videos. Did it disappear? It's refreshing. Maybe the number will go up. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. And so you guys will be watching this in the future. So if I have 2,000 subscribers right now, I'm doing something right. He castles. I think we're going to just get out of all of this nonsense with the pin. It's a weak move. It's a slow move. It's not something that a grandmaster would recommend. But me being not a grandmaster, and we're doing this to block the check so we can castle. We don't want to run into any discovery ideas. I'm really fighting for no such advantage. You know what I mean? If you can just make it out of the opening without making a blunder, you're doing something all right. What is this knight doing? This knight is almost certainly jumping here. There's no way he goes in front of this, weakening this. Because if he does this, then he does exactly what I did. I'm pretty much considering moving this knight here now. That's the new game plan. And none of his pieces are on my side of the board. None of my pieces are on his side of the board. There's really no checks. There's really not a lot of useful captures. Like we've got this and we've got this, but nobody really cares about that. I guess the one move that we need to keep on our radar is the knight jumping forward, but we do have a solid grasp of that. And his rook is already on the open file. So here shortly, I will be scooting my rook over to match his rook on the open file, because that's generally what you want to do in a game of chess. I was going back, just making sure. So immediately he goes for the little pawn break. If we capture, that just brings his knight. If I don't capture, my bishop is going to have to step back. Which one is better? Your guess is really just about as good as mine. I guess the only other thing to note about this is my bishop can jump forward to b4, b5. We got some music playing in the background. I'm wearing a robe, by the way, because I'm a wizard. I'm an absolute chess wizard, and we're playing a 10+2. So time is not something that I'm going to have to worry about. I'm thinking about just moving my bishop forward. You got to do something about that. Do I? I mean, I can just capture. What is your bishop really doing over here? We're playing this. We're playing this. Earlier on, I got hit with one of these checks. Oh my god, picking up the bishop because there was no more knight defending it. Chess is definitely complicated, but all we're doing right now is surviving the opening, getting into a middle game, not losing on time because I'm down a minute, so potentially it would be in my favor to just make a couple quick moves here and there. Almost certainly the knight's coming forward. Is he not? The rook's not scooting over. If the bishop goes back, then cool, we solve this problem. We just get rid of the bishop because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my bishop anyway. My queen will be just as happy on this square if we trade and the pawn doesn't come forward and attack me. And I feel maybe this little attack on the rook has really flustered our opponent here because he is reluctant to play a move. That is a move that he needed to play all along. That's my first idea. Pressure the pinned piece. But what if I step forward and he just captures? I capture attacking the queen. You have to take back. I take like this. You pressure the pinned piece. If you just capture, I take here. And your knight's not threatening anything. I was really hoping that that would be a little bit more of a dynamic type move, and it was not. Is there anything I can squeeze? Scooting the rook over just seems incredibly slow. But I have my pieces, you know, I'm having ideas of... I'm on his side of the board. How can I squeeze something else out of this position without wasting a huge amount of time? You know what we'll do? We'll trade everything off and go into an endgame so I can win the endgame. That is what we'll do. Okay. I mean, I have to play this, no? I have to play this so I can recapture the pawn if he does take. This guy is undefended. This square is looking a little sketchy. And it looks like he's got the center. So our opponent has definitely got the best of us out of the opening. But it's hard to say that this center is solid. I don't think that's a good center at all. Even if he just lets me capture and the bishop comes in, I don't think he's got what it takes to prove to me that this center is great. Okay? If he captures, the queen is coming out. And I will be attacking the a-pawn in this position. Not that that does anything useful. He can literally just step forward. And then realistically, what is my queen doing? Like, okay, let me think. Take, take. He steps forward again, attacking me. We can get freaky. We can get freaky, but that's asking for trouble. That's asking for trouble. He pushes forward again. And what is the knight doing? Okay, so we will be playing this. This was the move that I was considering next. And it just feels good to know that I've got options, okay? I can step forward, which is a bold move. It actually walks directly into this, where I would have to defend like this, walking into this fork. So we will not be playing that. So we have calculated this move sucks. This move sucks immediately because that's where the queen ended up in this line, walking into the fork. Man, my arrows suck. Maybe I'll alt, blue arrows, control, red arrows. This would be the threat. God damn it, dude. Drawing these arrows is harder than it looks. That's the threat if my queen is there. So I'm thinking, what about going over here? And then going here. And then coming back. Okay, so we calculated a lot of different stuff. I've really got two options, this or this. Which one is the better option? This one's forcing and it's attacking something. Even if I grab, you're just chasing me. I think we'd be all right. There's also this, but I'm sensing that this pawn push is going to come forward. I could step all the way back, but I didn't even consider any of those moves. Like, I could just play this. But let's get freaky. Queen on the side of the board. He could just go for a quick attack, and then we take the pawn. And then it's really like, it's anybody's game at that point, my friend. Also, I'm laterally defending the bishop. I don't know if that's even somewhat or slightly important. And he does just have this pawn push. Yeah. Where... I mean, if I play this, he just pins me. So that's super uncomfortable. Nobody wants to see that. If I go forward, he just takes me. I can't go here. Here seems reasonable. This locks my rook in there, so we're going to play this move. I'm getting a little bit steamrolled. But the game is not over. The game is not over. It's not even slightly over. And you know what? I actually almost prefer this pawn structure opposed to, like, this pawn structure. How it could have ended up. And this bishop is actually quite nice. This is a nice diagonal. He probably wants to trade off, because look at all the pawns he has on dark squares. So his dark square bishop is not that great, and I only have 2 pawns. See how good I'm getting with the arrows or the circles? Boom. One other thing, I just want to talk bad about chess.com. The knight, like, how do you envision the knight moving to this knight moving to this square? I literally just imagine the knight moving there. Like, I just boom, boom. That's what I see. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I see. Chess.com goes like that and draws like a crooked, that arrow. It literally does this, which can really throw you off. I think immediately we need to go for this. If he pushes forward, I don't believe my queen is scared. This opens up the escape. Because after he plays this, he's going to play this. And I have to play this. But without spending a huge amount of time. Oh, I'm winning on time now. So let's just get into a little bit of a time scramble, my friend. We can step all the way back. We don't have to do anything about this position. We can play this. And you have to play a weakening move, right? What is this bishop really accomplishing over here anyway? We play this. You have to defend this somehow. Yeah, you do, because otherwise I take with the queen, and I take like this, and take like this. I guess this pawn is hanging at the end of all of those lines. Ugh. What about this? No, I'm just getting my queen trapped. I'm asking for trouble. This. Okay. This move definitely seems sketchy, but it didn't seem like the end of the world. He plays this. I put my bishop on this diagonal. That seems useful. That cuts off this diagonal from this bishop. And we just got to react quick to this move right here. He could also jump forward with the knight. That would actually probably make a lot of sense. Or go for this now. I'm wearing my... my wizard robe with no shirt underneath. That's right. If you want to see the physique, check it out on Instagram. YouTube is for chess. Instagram is for showing the abs. So he pushes forward. Immediately we're playing this. He's going to play this now. Yet again, we are defending the bishop laterally. It's not like the bishop's under attack or anything, but it is cool just to see the queen getting freaky all the way across the board. And my knight can go here. This is just a balancing act. This is just a balancing act. Don't blunder first, or at least don't make the really obvious sucking blunder first. If you make like a crazy tactical blunder that nobody was ever going to see, it's not a real blunder. Like sometimes you'll see at the end of a blitz game that you played a blunder, and the reason for it being a blunder is the most ridiculous, disgusting computer line you have ever seen in your life. And you're like, that's not a blunder, bro. You can quite happily play this move, and they're not going to see a 12-move sequence. Okay, so we were anticipating this. I seem to think bringing the knight forward just is what needs to happen here. This is a passed pawn, but we have so much stuff. Not to mention this knight will be guarding this. And if this happens, I mean, I can just bring the bishop back. You bring the bishop. That guy's hanging. You could take with check, though, so it's not hanging. Okay, I think I just bring the knight. Is there just this? Oh my god, I do have an escaping square. This escaping square got covered by the pawn. I do have this at the end of the day. And then we have undeveloped the queen entirely. What was the journey of this queen? Can I scroll on the wheel? I guess not. All right, we're going back to where the position. Okay, so he is attacking me. Can't go here. Can't go here. Can't go anywhere on this diagonal. Can't go here. End of calculation, we go here. Oh my god, if we see this pawn push, that is not what we want to see. Because then he can take. Then it does get split up, but this is hanging. But I think our opponent underestimates how much bullet I play. Because I have 4 minutes and 41 seconds. I'm going to guarantee to you right now, the viewer, I'm going to win this game of chess. And it's going to be sloppy. Almost for sure it's going to be sloppy. Okay, so he just wants to defend this. I've got this. What is... Does that trap the rook? You would have to play this, no? This. Is that good or bad for me? I don't have any other attack on it. We have this, but then he has to take. No. This. We attack, or take, but then there's this. And the rook here is actually probably a decent thing. I could just immediately go for this pawn break, or step forward with the queen. In the interest of time, I know it's not a blunder, and if I go for this pawn push, this is held. Okay, so here. I think this makes sense. There's double en passant. Okay, I think I have to go for this. What are the options there? He doesn't have to take, but then I take this one, and I feel so much better about my position. Here. Push, and then you just hang on to these two passed pawns. I'll defend that, bro. I will defend that. Pre-move this. First pre-move of the game, I believe, and hopefully it flusters our opponent. 1800 bullet. That's actually quite decent, but 1500 blitz. And he's going to have another passed pawn over here. I mean, we can get really freaky right now and play this, but he's just going to play an obviously decent move. We can shove this dude forward in his face at some point. Okay, 1 minute. I got 1 minute extra. What if we just do this? We just start stacking stuff up. I feel like it's not a blunder, so we're going to just play it. Probably he's going to want to get rid of some of these pieces over here. The reason I want to keep my knight here is I don't want this knight jumping forward, just applying pressure to literally everything. And I don't want to have to take with my bishop. I don't want to give him the bishop pair in an endgame where we're running low on time, where he's up a pawn. That's something that I'm just not super keen on doing. So we will not be doing that. We attack the bishop immediately. Oh, this. You take, I take, and you frickin' escape. I can play this right now. We have to play this. Oh, I wish that this worked, but he's got this. Push forward. I don't know if that's the right move, but we're playing it. He's still got this. Taking like this, I don't want to just weaken my king and weaken my pawn. Oh my god, this is covered. God damn it. He can just straight up take. And that holds everything. 59 seconds. Yeah. We get freaky. This is not what you want. You can just play this. We have to take. We have this, where if he takes, I get this rook, and I got the pawn. All he has to do is defend the rook. This. This, he just takes the rook, no? And I'm screwed. Really screwed. Jesus, now we're tied. Now I'm hanging onto this rook like so. We're massaging the position. He can run this way. But then we take. He sacrifices? Has to be a blunder, no? We take. He makes the queen. We take. We can also just block. "27 seconds against 30. Oh my god, why does chess always get so freaking complicated? This is under threat. This is under threat. What do you do? Something like this would actually probably work. Now I grab the bishop. What do you do here? I think I'm winning. I think I'm totally winning. Don't lose on time, bro, please. And I don't want to give you time because I'm not sure if I'm winning. We give him time. We count that as a dub. We count that as a dub. Here, 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 here. We get behind it. We also have this. We get behind it. He can't grab that immediately. That's a complete dub. Complete dub. Dude, what did I say at the beginning of this video? The game is won and lost in the end game. Did anything matter? Did anything matter before this point right here? All it takes is a little bit of confidence and a little bit of finesse. We got lucky here. Don't know. This right here. What was that? What the flippin' heck was that? Let's check with the computer, see how accurate this was. We're going to do this incredibly fast. I'm going to even have like a little timer over here. We're going to go to computer analysis. I will see you over there. And here we are in the computer analysis, and I don't mean to let you guys down, but I was losing that entire game. And I knew that it was uncomfortable, but I never lost hope. I knew that once we got into low time, your boy was going to clutch it up. Now look at this graph. That shows a tale of I was literally in trouble the entire game, bro. Equal, in trouble, then we clutch it up. 92% accurate, 1 mistake, 5 inaccuracies, and our opponent A miraculous 82%. I'm a whole 10% higher accurate than him, and I lost the game. So let's just fly through this real quick. Now, I remember best move. I knew that bringing the knight is the best move. This is like not a great move, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Okay, so maybe I will just start trying to play something different. Going with a little h3 would definitely throw some people off. All right, we're just getting pieces developed. None of this is incredibly important. We castle, and we kind of get into the meat and potatoes of the position. Jumping forward with the knight was the best idea. Capturing was the best idea. And just attacking the rook, where if you go here, I'm freaking chasing you down. Wow, so the trapping the rook in the corner because this bishop is cutting off so many squares, all I need to do is get my bishop here. Man, trapping the rook with the bishops was an idea all along. I didn't even consider it in this position. I thought he escaped somehow. Like, I don't know what I thought, but that's really not too hard to see. Boom, boom, boom. Or like okay, you see it. We slide out of there. It's a mistake because I missed that free up in exchange trade we could have had going on. He shoves the knight forward, and I'm supposed to walk willingly into this pin. Never in a million years am I playing that move. Maybe I'm playing this move, but that just walks into this. And then my knight moves, so that would just be a big simplification. We step back. It's not fun to play, but we do play it. Getting my bishop active was the correct move. I chose the wrong one, but I needed a little luft. I needed a little bit of I needed to know my queen was safe. And in this position, the queen's not safe because I'm walking into these discovery ideas. My queen's not safe. This little pawn push, and I do have some escaping squares. He shoves it forward. I move the bishop forward with the right idea. We jump in with the knight. We're wiggling around, and we go for the pawn break. Never mind, I'm too afraid. So I step forward to defend this pawn so that I can go for the pawn break, although I could have still gone for it. We do go for the pawn break, but no matter what I do, I have a -2 position, -2.5. He brings the bishop. We shove the pawn forward. Desperation. Desperation calls for crazy things. We shove this pawn forward to dislocate, or whatever you want to call it. This bishop can't see this pawn. Only the queen does, and I got two things attacking it. So we trade. I take with the bishop, correct. Sliding in with the rook. He gets freaky with the knight. We chop his head off. Sick. Okay. We scoot over with the rook. Best move. This is a strange configuration, to say the least. Best move. I am hitting it with the best move, best move, best move. And then straight up here. This was the entire blunder of the game. All it took was whittling him away on the clock until he had 44 seconds. And I don't know what he saw here, but it throws it back to a draw, where he needs to move the bishop. Well, yeah, of course, I'm attacking the bishop. You needed to move the bishop. I guess pushing this also like threatens making a queen. But at the very least, I'm going to grab your bishop and then lose my rook. And then probably have pretty good prospects of winning this pawn over here, and you don't have great prospects of winning this one. So moving the bishop would have made more sense. We get behind the pawn, and we take here correctly. If we take like this, we're losing this guy with check. Okay, so my queen is defending this pawn in a way, okay? So, sort of, at least the check. And so we take with the rook, he takes the queen, we step in, we get behind that passed pawn. He has two pawns, one square away. One frickin' square away. Have you ever seen that? Two pawns, one square away from promotion, and neither one of them makes it. Oh, it's rough. And then I believe he resigned in this position because what are you going to do? You can't even take this pawn because it is covered. Thank you so much for watching that video. I know the analysis was super quick, but that's what I promised. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I will love you forever. I'll see you in the next one. Get out of here. Bye. Goodbye. Oh, hello, my fellow chess enthusiast. Thank you so much for clicking on my video.